Regicide Legacy is a cooperative card game in which 1 to 4 players embark on 12 challenging missions. In this video, we're going to set up the first mission of the game and learn the rules. Open Regicide Legacy and set out the playmats, the large one in the centre of the play area and a small one for each player. Take out the 40 cards that make up the Golden Blade Syndicate. These are the heroes of the story that you control. Put them into the standard sleeves and add a number of Jesters based on the number of players. Shuffle and place it on the reserve deck space of the central playmat. Also, give each player a player helper card. Open Mission Pack 1 and after reading the story card aloud, read the mission rule card to everyone. Give each player their own mission helper card which summarises the rules and place the enemy stat card on the central player mat. The rules for Mission 1 are almost identical to regular Regicide. Take the enemies and put them in the special corrupted sleeves. Randomise each individual tier of enemies as indicated on the enemy stat card and place them in a pile in the enemy deck space. Turn over the top card. This becomes the current enemy and the first one will need to defeat. Deal cards to each player up to their maximum hand size. Today we'll play with 3 players, so that's a maximum of 6 cards each. It's important to note that you are not allowed to talk about the cards in your hand. In Regicide Legacy, anyone can play first. On your turn, you will play a card from your hand to deal damage to the current enemy. The number on the card contributes to the attack strength, while the class provides a special ability. Each turn has 4 steps. In Step 1, Form an Attack, you play cards from your hand to the player mat in front of you. Andy decides to go first and plays Esme, a warrior with 6 strength. This normally means that the attack will deal 6 damage. Step 2 is where some classes will cast spells. Esme is a warrior, so she won't do anything here. In Step 3 you deal damage to the enemy, then check to see if it's defeated. The class ability of warriors is that they deal double damage, so instead of dealing 6 damage, Esme will actually do 12. The enemy, Leotholdus the Justicar, has 20 health, so by dealing 12 we're over halfway. If the enemy is still alive, proceed to Step 4A, Suffer Damage. If they have been defeated, move to Step 4B. In Step 4A, the enemy strikes back. The turn player has to suffer damage by discarding cards that add up to the strength of the enemy. In this case, the Justicar has a strength of 10, so Andy needs to discard cards with a total value of at least 10, and 8 and a 3 will cover it. Animal companions only count for 1 when discarding them. If you cannot fully satisfy an attack from an enemy, all players lose the mission. Once Step 4A is completed, it's the next player's turn. Starting at Step 1, Ben forms an attack by playing Lee, a 6-strength paladin. Paladins are not spellcasters, so Ben moves past Step 2 and onto Step 3 where 6 damage is dealt to the enemy. The enemy is not dead yet, so onto Step 4A where Leotholdus strikes back. The class ability of paladins is that they reduce the strength of the enemy. The enemy's strength is reduced by 6, so Ben only has to suffer 4 damage. The enemy's strength remains reduced until they are defeated. Over to Claire now, who plays Glamlin the Bard. Bards are spellcasters, so in Step 2 we resolve the Bard's class ability which draws the player's cards. The current player draws a card, then the other players follow in clockwise order until a number of cards have been drawn equal to the attack strength played, so the players collectively draw 4 cards. Bards do not allow you to draw over your maximum hand size, and players that have reached their maximum hand size are skipped. In Step 3, when dealing damage and checking the enemy's health, we find that the players have now dealt 22 damage, which is enough to kill the enemy. This means instead of Step 4A, we go to Step 4B, where we clean up the play area. First, cleanup is performed as per the instructions on the mission rule card. In Mission 1, this means the defeated enemy goes to the discard pile. Then all cards played to attack the enemy also go to the discard pile. When an enemy is defeated, play does not pass to the next player, but stays with the player who dealt the killing blow, so Claire now faces the next enemy first, starting again in Step 1. Claire forms an attack with Pudidi the Cleric, then in Step 2 she resolves its class ability which is to heal cards from the discard pile. To heal with clerics, shuffle the discard pile, then count out a number of cards face down equal to the attack strength played. Place them under the reserve deck, no peeking, then return the discard pile to the table face up. In Step 3 we see that the new enemy, Tesfer, isn't defeated, so moving to Step 4A, Claire has to suffer 10 damage. 8 plus 4 is more than enough. In Step 1 you can play an animal companion on its own or pair it with 1 other card. Animal companions only count for 1, but you get to add their class ability also. So when Andy plays Duck and Tootara together, 1 plus 5 is 6 and both class abilities are resolved for 6. In this case that means the players draw 6 cards and the enemy's attack is reduced by 6. A quick check in step 3 shows that the enemy isn't defeated yet, so Andy has to suffer 4 damage in the final step. He discards her bod. Ben gets to play now, and the enemy only has 9 health remaining. Normally, Cody, a 5 strength warrior, would hit for double damage and deal a fatal 10. But it's not quite that simple. You see, each enemy has a class, and they are immune to abilities that match their own class. Ben can still play Cody, but it will deal 5, not 10, which isn't great. Ben can form a Kinfolk attack by combining cards in pairs or sets as long as the total of those cards adds up to 10 or less. So you can play pairs of 5 or less, triple 3s and 2s, or even quad 2s if you get them all. The strength is totaled and then all effects are resolved where possible. In step 2, Ben gets to heal for 6, and in step 4A he will shield for 6, but the double damage ability of warriors won't work due to the immunity of the Jester card. On to step 3, and we see that the enemy is not yet defeated, only 3 to go, but the strength of the enemy has been fully neutralized thanks to the shield 6 of Andy and the shield 6 of Ben, so in step 4A no damage is suffered by the player. Claire plays River for the kill. The players draw cards and the enemy is defeated, so they don't get a chance to strike back. Something important has happened though. The players managed to defeat the enemy with exact damage by playing the 3 when the enemy had 3 health remaining. When an enemy is defeated by the exact amount, you get a special bonus unique to each mission. In Mission 1, the exact damage bonus is that you place the enemy straight on top of the reserve deck instead of the discard pile. This is important because the enemies in your hand can be played like any other card, so this Jester card works the same as a 10 strength warrior. The next enemy, Nobutada, is immune to the Paladin class ability, so playing the pair of 3 strength halflings here isn't great. Claire instead decides to play the Jester. In step 1, you can play the Jester on its own to the middle of the play area. Without talking, any player may claim the Jester for themselves and take over the turn, forming a new attack as normal. This attack is added to the Jester and ignores enemy immunity. Ben decides to play an animal companion attack, pairing Balroth together with Wayne. 9 plus 1 is 10, so 10 cards are healed and the enemy's strength is reduced by 10. The Paladin's shield ability works against the enemy because the attack ignores the enemy's immunity. Now, Claire's next, but if she defeats the enemy, she'll need to go first against the next enemy after that, and her hand isn't great. Fortunately, in step 1, players are allowed to yield instead of playing a card. This means that you skip steps 2 and 3, however you still have to take the hit in step 4A. Fortunately, in this case, the enemy doesn't deal any damage, so Claire doesn't have to discard anything. All players are not allowed to yield consecutively. Play continues around the table to Andy, who finishes off the enemy with Kazakan, and would heal 10, although the discard is empty at this stage. It's also an exact damage kill. We'll leave Andy now to plan his next attack. If he and his friends go on to defeat all remaining enemies, they will have completed the mission.